Hello there, Star Wars fans. Today I want to cover a Star Wars short story called Orientation. It was originally published in Star Wars Insider Magazine number 157, but it gives us a look at Vader kind of overseeing a battle he views as meaningless on his way to something he cared about more. And in this battle, the Empire won, and at the end of the battle, the commanding officer basically goes to see the Emperor and Vader aboard the ship, where the Emperor gives him a new assignment, saying that what he does, what he teaches, what the Imperial officer here has been doing, will be transferred to an Imperial school type thing on Corellia, and the commanding officer disobeys him, saying he is not part of the Empire, saying that he's a Republic officer, saying he works for the Republic, not the Empire, to which Palpatine and Vader respond accordingly. Their methods, Palpatine's and Vader's, are very different, but I want you to get a look at this whole excerpt, basically. It's interesting, and we're going to be going over it, so stay tuned. And of course, as I'm going to say in this entire week's of videos, I am on vacation, but I tried to pre-record a video for pretty much every day. Don't know if it's going well. We'll see when I get back. I might be able to get to your comments, I might not, but either way, please do leave a comment, and yeah, let me know what you think of this video. Thanks everybody for watching. Let's get right into this excerpt. Palpatine spoke to the officer. "Defiance, your ship, is approaching obsolescence, and we will employ no one who is unresponsive to command. The Balo School, as you call it, will be folded into the existing training center at Corellia, and you will take a chair at the Navigation Institute planetside," Palpatine said. "No," was their reply. The Emperor was more surprised by Balo's response than Vader was. "Repeat yourself," his master said in a voice nearing a hiss. "No, I will not transfer this vessel to your new command." Still standing as erect as his gnarled frame would allow, Balo nodded toward the great seal on the wall to the right of his desk. "Defiance was commissioned by the Galactic Republic and attached to me so those who trained here might serve the Republic. I do not recognize your order as legitimate." The Emperor frowned. "Don't play games, Commandant. Whether you've had times to decorate or not, the Republic is no more." The Senate decided to dissolve its pact with the people, Balo said, voice rising in volume. "What I owed allegiance to, it no longer exists. I consider the Galactic Empire a hostile power, and I can't fulfill these orders." He reached inside his waistcoat, an act that drew Vader's immediate attention. But before he reached through the Force to summon his lightsaber, Vader saw Balo produce a data pad. "This is my resignation." He offered it to the Emperor. The Emperor simply stared, and then chuckled. "A Republican, Balo. I was told you were more intelligent." Finding no takers, Balo returned the datapad to his pocket. "I am, of course, willing to report to the brig until we reach our destination. I understand the need to keep an orderly ship," he said. He fixed his eyes on the Emperor. "But Order's place is in the military, not in civilian life." Balo looked toward Vader. Seeing no response, the Commandant shrugged. He looked up to the viewport and the stars streaking by. "Enjoy the rest of your journey. I figure I'm dismissed." Vader took a step towards Balo. He too had been watching the stars flying past outside while listening to the man's little speech and waiting to see how the Emperor reacted. Balo turned to discover Vader barring his way. "This guy again." Balo spoke through clenched teeth, trying not to betray any fear. "I don't care if you kill me." "No," Vader said. "That much is true." "Because you think you are already dead." The Emperor looked keenly at Vader. "His ailments." "No, he plotted a course that will cause this ship to emerge from hyperspace at Christophsis and plunge into the sun," Vader said. The Emperor's eyes widened a little. "I countermanded the orders," the Emperor said, and now his eyes narrowed. His master asked, "And?" And as if in answer, Defiance returned to real space at that moment, with millions of safe kilometers between it and the aforementioned star. Vader could see it shining outside the viewport, along with something else. Perilous, Vader's ship was there, waiting as instructed. Seeing them, Bailo mouthed an obscenity, the Emperor saw them too. "Very good, my old friend." He looked kindly at Vader. "This is part of what I expect from you, to manage the petty problems so that I can focus on larger matters." Vader felt a surge of pride. He had suspected it was a test the Emperor had placed in his path. Instead, he'd caught something his master had missed. Even so, the word petty didn't sit well with Vader, and he could feel it bothered Bailo even more. "You have something to say?" Vader asked. "You bet," Bailo said, throwing caution away. He'd sagged on learning of his plot's failure, but in focusing his plan and anger on the Emperor, he seemed to gain strength. "I've watched you and your cronies, Palpatine, corrupting the Navy bit by bit during the Clone Wars, turning something noble, something meant as a shield into a weapon, something oppressive, a service it's taken generations to build, that students of mine have given their lives to." He thrust his finger at the images on the far wall. "I'm older than you, Emperor. No matter what you look like now, I remember when this was an honorable calling." Vader had been waiting for his master's angry reprisal ever since Bailo opened his disrespectful mouth, but instead the Emperor seemed amused. "You would have killed several of your own colleagues." "Traitors, trying to save their posts," Bailo replied. "And a crew of your cadets for vengeance?" the Emperor asked. "A better fate than them turning into droids, because that's what you want, isn't it? Mindless slaves, just robots in your..." The words caught in Bailo's throat, as did his breath. Vader clutched the fingers of his right hand together, summoning the dark side of the Force to snap the commander's windpipe. He fell to the deck like a Toydarian whose wings had been clipped. A not unpleasant comparison, Vader thought. But the Emperor's smile vanished. "Lord Vader," he said, rising from his seat, "I did not instruct you to kill him." Vader looked at the Emperor and said nothing. Alone again, they were master and apprentice, Sidious and Vader, and the elder Sith Lord spoke freely and angrily. "I would have kept the wretch alive to take pleasure from his pain, as I transformed his navy while I broke down his precious ship into cafeteria trays." He mused as he looked on the corpse, "And a teacher who could so easily kill his students might be molded into something I can use." "He was a threat," Vader said. "He is finished." Sidious scowled. "Still, I did not command it." "He is a petty thing, one of those you expect me to deal with. My way is faster," Vader said before catching himself and adding, "Master." Sidious looked at him, but before more words could pass between them, a chime came from the door. That's where we're going to end it. That's where this story basically ends. Yeah, the title, How Emperor Deals with Traitors. He was going to take this guy and keep him alive over the years just so he could watch his own navy be rebuilt, just so he could watch his own ship be torn apart and used for scrap, basically. The Emperor was not going to kill this traitor. Vader's method was much different. Simply snap his neck, get it over with. But the Emperor wanted to basically keep him prisoner, keep him at a post, keep him as a teacher, watching him. He even wanted him to change. The Emperor thought if someone with this much passion, someone with this much pride in his work, could be turned into something useful for the Empire. So Palpatine had grand plans, even for just this puny man, whereas Vader just killed him off. Extremely different ideologies there, with someone who's betraying the Empire, someone who's betraying them, someone who's trying to kill them. So I found that really interesting. It's just a really quick short story before Vader and the Emperor get to their real mission. I don't know. I thought it was fun. I'd like to know what you think. It's an insight into how Palpatine, how Vader, how they think of prisoners. Not prisoners, but traitors to the Empire. How differently they would treat them. So let me know what you thought. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.